Tuesday, we're going to be talking to you about catching redirects in your dancing.
As a follower, I really love redirects because it's like I'm going one way and I'm dancing, and then all of a sudden I'm going the other way, and it feels really cool.
And we're going to be leading up to a cool move on Thursday that uses this idea.
So we have some new moves today, and then we have a really, really crazy cool move for Thursday's class.
So the first move we're going to use to talk about this is our swing out. And we're going to take our swing out and add...
Swing, redirect.
Exactly. It looks like this.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So obviously, instead of completing the full swing out rotation, I went that way, and then Tim sent me back the way I came. Step,
1, 2,
step,
3, 4.
step, 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 triple step.
Leaders, the first thing to make this thing successful is that you need to be decisive about this move. You need to make up your mind as soon as possible that this is going to happen. Because by count 3, I'm already connecting up with Sarah's back, which normally that wouldn't necessarily be happening in a swing out.
If you don't quite get there in time, bail on the move. It's not going to work, or it doesn't feel very good if it happens late. So you can just go into a regular swing out or something else like that. Usually with moves like this, like the move beforehand, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna do this move, I'm gonna do this move. Okay, I'm doing the move so that I'm ready, instead of like, we're dancing, oh, I wanna do that redirect thing. Oh no, it's too late. So a little bit of like thought planning ahead is good on this one.
Leaders, this is what it's gonna look like on your side. So we take our rock step, and then we plant on count 3. Notice how I have sort of this nice wide athletic stance. I use this so that Sarah doesn't necessarily run me over, because if you have your feet too close together, you risk, getting toppled over, having one foot come up, something like that. So a nice athletic stance like this, where you'll be able to catch your partner.
Followers, for me, this feels very rubber bandy. It's like I'm going, I slow down, and then I go back the other direction. So it's like going, slow down, and then speed up again with that redirect. So Tim is taking the energy that I have and sending it back to the other direction. So for that to work, it's really important that I continue moving. If I stop at any point, it doesn't work because there's nothing for Tim to redirect. If I'm just picturing a regular swing out, and I stop moving, like in the middle, which I don't want to be doing at all, even during a regular swing out, then there's nothing to redirect. But if I continue moving the whole time, then I get shot back to where I started.
1, 2, 3,
And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Like Sarah said, it's a rubber banding motion. We're stretching and then releasing.
Yeah, that's why it feels so good.
The next thing, leaders, you'll want to do once you connect up with your partner is you'll want to make sure that you get them turned to face that way so that they're ready to head that way again. I'm doing this with my right hand, so once I make connection with Sarah's back, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you want to do that with Ghost? Will you do that with Ghost?
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, sort of making like a curve or a hook, and then sending Sarah out.
To me, that feels like, hey, let's go this way instead. So it's a very strong suggestion that I should change the way I'm moving. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The goal for any of these redirects is to change my movement before I step backwards. So if Tim doesn't catch me here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, I keep backing out. So that redirect, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. So especially if I step 5, that step is forward, which is the key for the redirect.
1,
2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. And that's why it's got to be early and decisive, because if it's too late, then I step backwards. And once I put my weight back, it's a much different thing to get me to go forward than if I'm ready to go forward.
1, 2,
3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is also a good reason to never anticipate what a move is going to be. So if I think that's going to be a swing out, boom, boom, hey, then I make it more difficult for the move to happen. Whereas if I just go expecting anything, anything can happen. Oh, okay, I guess we're going this way now. So this is a really great thing to yo-yo back and forth too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and catch 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and catch 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about that?
Just make sure, leaders, that you are giving a nice smooth guide. Don't be too abrupt with this, because that can make the move really uncomfortable for the follow.
When I learned this move, back when I was a wee baby dancer, I hated this move because it was always really like, no, go that way. And it felt like it almost hurt a little bit because it was very forced. So you want to try to make it as slow and gradual as possible. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. Instead of catch, release, go. Yep. It should feel as comfortable as possible. And also Tim is making sure to catch up here on my back and my ribcage and not catch down here where organs are, because that can be really uncomfortable. So comfortable is the goal. Next one.
Yeah, the next move that we're doing is an inside, what did we call it?
Inside return.
Inside return.
Yep.
And
So-
it's,
Let's do an inside turn first, and then we'll do the return.
1, 2,
2,
3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So this one happens even faster than the swing out return.
Yeah, and since it is going to be faster, leaders, when we're starting that turn, we're actually going to have our arm a little bit tighter than we would with a normal inside turn.
Yep.
We don't have as much time for a follow to get under.
We recommend watching the technique classes we've done so far, the stretch class and the frame class if you haven't already, because those will both help a lot for accomplishing this move. So like Tim was saying, he tightens his arm up, and because I feel that, I also tighten my arm up a little bit. 1, 2. I can already feel that something's different because Tim's arm is a little bit tighter than it usually is, instead of a regular inside turn where we're just like, woo, nice and loosey-goosey. It's not as loosey-goosey anymore, and so I feel that and I respond to it because I'm like, oh, something's happening, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. Followers, when a move is happening that fast, my arm just usually stays, my left arm just kind of usually stays somewhere close to my body. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6.
The next thing, leaders, you need to make sure with this move is that you're connecting with your partner's back as soon as possible. Again, the earlier you can catch, the more smooth you can make this, and the more time you have to catch and redirect, so it's not abrupt.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Yep. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So I feel that connection and that redirect almost immediately. So I feel Tim connecting with my back, and then I already feel his hand turning. Do you want to show it without me?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
So it's going pretty quickly. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. This hand also comes down really quickly. So usually in our inside turn, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. It goes up, you do a turn, it comes down again. Whereas this one, it happens much faster. 1, 2, 3, 4,
down.
5, and 6. I messed up the footwork there. But you get the idea. So the hand was up at 2 and down by 4. And that tells me that the turn is over. 1, 2, 3, and 4,
down.
5, and 6.
So when we're doing that redirect with our follows leads, we want to make sure that we're following a nice arc motion. We're taking that energy that our partner is giving us, turning that into a spin, and with that spin, sending it forward.
Just because the move is faster doesn't mean it should be any less comfortable. This is something that I can follow without any prior knowledge of it, because it happens and it should be comfortable and smooth. Like, it shouldn't be jerky at all. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So it shouldn't feel any different. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable at all or anything like that.
1, 2, 3,
and 4, 5, and 6. Let's do it in this direction a couple times.
1, 2,
3, and 4, 5, and 6. Throughout that turn, Tim is helping me a little bit with his arm. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, it's not necessarily straight up and down. I'm sort of curving it a little bit.
And that helps me finish that turn quickly. So it's a little bit of a leader assist for this one to help us both get through the move a little bit snappier. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. And then I finish out with that last triple step. Another option, sometimes this happens if I'm dancing in the wild and I get led in something like this that's very fast. Depending on like feet and things like that, I'll drop triple steps. So if you step through something instead of triple stepping, you'll end up on the same foot. So I can go step, 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 step. Something like that. And
yeah, just anytime you have a fast turn like that or a fast spin, sometimes dropping the triple steps will help you get through it easier.
yeah, so that's an option too. You can try practicing it with the triple steps, but just recognize that sometimes that doesn't happen, and that's totally okay. Anything else you wanted to say?
Not really on that move.
Yeah. So those are two different redirect moves that kind of help build up the technique of how to do a redirect. And then Thursday's move will be a little bit more of a complex redirect. So your practice will be put to good use.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in that video.
Thanks for joining us.